Hey everybody, it's Stacie Duffy here, your Denver Metro real estate resource, and sorry about all the stuff in the back. I'm in between appointments. It's a Saturday, so I actually don't have any showings today, which is pretty rare, but I do have a coffee table and some crocheted blankets I need to drop off and donate and some other things. So I'm just catching up on some other stuff. But I wanted to really kind of go through the 5 main steps, that's kind of how I break it down, of the home buying process, at least here in Colorado. So this is something I spend a good 10 to 15 minutes talking about anytime I'm meeting with new buyers and going over our buyer book. But I realized I haven't really done a video on it. So I kind of break it down into 5 steps. There's a lot more mini steps, processes, things that go on in there. But just to kind of understand and give you an overview, I'm going to go through that. So step 1 is really what I call the homework phase. And that's, interviewing your realtors, interviewing lenders, getting your finances together as far as your paperwork, things like that, making your pre-approval or loan application, and doing some searching online as well. So I caution you a little bit, but if you do want to search online, and this is the part that everyone does because it's fun and it's free and why not? So, they'll go on Redfin or Google or Realtor.com or Zillow or whatever. And most of those are going to have access to the same information because most of them will get a feed from your local MLS company. But if you can find out what your local MLS company is, you can go directly to their website and usually get the most updated and accurate information. But their website may not be as pretty because they don't have as much money as Zillow. So it may not be as user-friendly, but it will have better accurate information and up-to-date information because some of the other ones are a little bit lagging in that. But anyway. So people are going to go online, do some, online searching and kind of get a feel for what your money gets you. Go to some open houses. It's a great way to meet agents. I would say as far as for agents, there's a lot of different ways to meet agents and you should definitely be interviewing your agent, as I always say. But if you ask your friends, family, coworkers for realtors, referrals, who they use, who they would recommend. If nobody has anybody, go to a few open houses, meet a few agents, get their information, interview more than one. But anyway, go to some open houses, see what your money gets you. That's all the homework phase, okay? And sorry, this stuff is even distracting for me. I'm not used to having a bright green bag right in my camera view. But, so do your homework, all right? And find out what neighborhoods you like. Go drive some neighborhoods on the weekends. Go check out garage sales in a particular neighborhood. It's a great way to meet people in the area and find out, ask them questions about how they like it, all that stuff. So phase 2 is really once you've picked your realtor and picked your lender, you can pick your realtor. They'll recommend some lenders. But phase 2 is really kind of getting down to business. And I start phase 2 with the learning day. And as I've talked about, I have a video for Learning Day. I'll try to put a link down below. But Learning Day is my day to take out my clients and show them different neighborhoods, different styles of homes, different ages of homes, kind of talk about the risks with an older home, the risks with a newer home, all that kind of stuff. And it's to help them figure out what they do and don't like. And we go from that to the actual, we kind of narrow it down once we figure out what they like, put all the puzzle pieces together. And then actually do the home shopping. So going and looking at new listings when they come on the market to see if that's something you like. And then making offers. Ideally 1. We should only need to make, sometimes you can only make 1. Sometimes you have to make a few more if it's an aggressive seller's market. But ideally a handful. I always tell my buyers if we're getting to offer number 4, 5, 6 and we're not getting accepted, we're not doing something right. We need to have a little come to Jesus and re-strategize on what's going on. That's not always the case. Every market may be different, but that's kind of the current situation in my market and how I work with my clients. So that's phase 2 is really finding what you like, getting the house, and getting something under contract. Phase 3, once we're under contract, is a whole lot of stuff in the first 7 to 10 days. So in that 7 to 10 days, we're going to look at title work. You're going to do your inspections on the home. We're going to look at due diligence documents. You're going to shop for property insurance. There's a lot of things that happen. And essentially, in that period of time, we'll go through each thing one by one and say, okay, are you okay with this? Do you want to keep moving forward? Do you want the seller to help or with something, negotiate something? Or do you want out? Do you want to say, I want nothing to do with this and move on? So by the end of phase 3, you decide whether or not you're going to continue moving forward with that property. If you cut bait and start over, then you kind of back up to phase 2 a little bit, find a new property, and go through there. But anyway, so after you decide, yes, I like the house, I'm going to stick with it, then we go to phase 4, which is this awkward waiting time. Here in Colorado, this is how this kind of works. Every state's going to be different because all the contracts are different, so the process is slightly different. But for Colorado, phase 4 is this awkward waiting time where you're like, I don't know what's going on. No one's talking to me. Am I still buying a house? What's happening? It's this weird, quiet time where we're just waiting to get the appraisal back. So the lender has ordered the appraisal after you decide, yep, we like it, we want to move forward. They order the appraisal, and then we just have to wait for the appraiser to go out and do their job. And the listing agent may meet them out there. The buyer's agent may meet them out there and help them understand why the house is worth what the contract price is. But anyway, so we're just waiting to get that appraisal back. So once we get the appraisal back, hopefully, fingers crossed, it comes in at the contract price or higher and everything is good. If not, we have some things and some options to discuss. Not saying the deal is dead, but there's some ways to work through it. And then step 5 is really the lender finishing up their process and doing a final review. They'll make sure you're still employed. They'll make sure you didn't go finance a bunch of furniture, because please don't do that. Don't buy anything or finance anything or refinance your car, do anything while you're under contract. But they're going to make sure that you are still qualified and approved to get the loan. So I call that, most lenders will call that a final review. So once final review is done, the lender and the title company kind of just have to shore up numbers, and you'll do a final walkthrough. And that is your chance to make sure that the property is still in the condition that you offered to buy it in. So essentially the sellers didn't, or renters or whoever was living there, didn't knock a giant hole in the wall while they were moving a couch out or something like that, that the property isn't significantly damaged or in different condition than it was when you offered to buy it. And if everything's good, we show up to closing, and you and your lender bring money, and the seller brings the keys, and you both sign a bunch of documents, and then we exchange. And you walk away with keys, and the seller walks away with their money, and we move on. And that's the goal, is to get the keys and buy your new home. So anyway, hopefully that gives you an idea, just general overview of, like I said, 5 phases, overall general phases of the home buying process. But if you have any more questions, please feel free to leave them down below. Questions, comments, whatever. If you'd like to reach out to me directly, you're welcome to do that. My contact information is on my website, and the link for that is down below as well. And if you're liking my videos, please subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. I try to put some new stuff out at least once a week, if not a couple times a week. But yeah, if you have any other questions, give me a shout. I'd love to do a video on it. Thanks for the time, and have a great day.